Federal Judge Aileen Cannon ruling against Donald Trump yet again. She just issued an order denying Donald Trump's lawyers access to special counsel Jack Smith's CIPA Section 4 submissions, special counsel Jack Smith's CIPA filings to withhold classified documents from Donald Trump. This follows Judge Aileen Cannon making an earlier order denying Donald Trump's co-defendants, Waltine Nauta, as well as Carlos de Oliveira, access to classified records. One of the things that should be noted is Judge Aileen Cannon's denial of Trump's request to have his lawyers access the CIPA Section 4 filings does not mean that Judge Aileen Cannon will ultimately reject Donald Trump's lawyers from gaining access to the underlying classified records. But for now, what she is rejecting is Trump's lawyers having access to the filings themselves, to the submissions filed by special counsel Jack Smith, stating why these classified records should be withheld or deleted or substituted and not turned over to Donald Trump. So we've seen now Judge Cannon issuing a few rulings against Donald Trump. And while this didn't seem like it would be a difficult ruling for Judge Aileen Cannon, or let's just say any other judge to make in this position. Judge Aileen Cannon has demonstrated that time and time again, she has not followed the law. So for her to rule against Trump like here is very, very interesting and noteworthy. Also, this follows a number of ex parte hearings where Judge Cannon met with Trump's lawyers, Carlos de Oliveira and Waltine Nauta, Trump's co-defendants' lawyers, and then met with special counsel Jack Smith. So I think it's one of the first time Judge Aileen Cannon actually saw what this classified material was that special counsel Jack Smith's team was requesting be deleted or withheld under CIPA, the Classified Information Procedures Act. So it could be something that is just so jarring, like nuclear codes, nuclear material, war plans, and things like that, that it even made Judge Aileen Cannon pause. Let's take a look at her order right here. This is an order denying defendants' motion for access to special counsel's CIPA Section 4 filings. Of course, we predicted here on the MeidasTouch network that this would follow, given that in her order denying Waltine Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, Trump's co-defendants, access to CIPA Section 4 material, she did state there would be a forthcoming order denying all defendants' motions for access to CIPA Section 4 submissions. Now, CIPA Section 4 says that the government may withhold documents, classified documents, from a criminal defendant unless there could be made a showing that classified documents are both relevant and helpful. And a judge is supposed to serve as a gatekeeper in making that determination, because certain documents are so highly classified that they, unlike other forms of discovery, can be withheld in the interest of national security, provided the judge doesn't make the determination of relevance, plus that these documents are helpful. And also, the criminal defendant, in almost all circumstances, never do they get to participate in an adversarial way in these ex parte hearings with the government, nor does a criminal defendant ever get access to CIPA Section 4 motions. And that's precisely what Trump was asking that his lawyers gain access to. Judge Aileen Cannon rejects that, but I do want to be clear that Judge Aileen Cannon has not rejected yet, nor has she granted yet, a potential concept of turning over classified documents to Donald Trump. She has not made that ruling at this point here. So here's what she says. She goes, "This cause comes before the court upon defendant," meaning Trump's and his co-defendants, "access to CIPA Section 4 filings. The special counsel filed consolidated responses in opposition, to which defendants filed replies. The court conducted several sealed hearings during which arguments were made and raised in defendants' motion for access. The court heard positions from special counsel Jack Smith. Upon careful review of the motions, the special counsel's response, and defendants, including Donald Trump's response and reply to the various filings, defendants' motions are denied. The court says, although the import of special counsel's position effectively changes the unambiguous discretionary language of CIPA Section 4 into a prohibition on adversarial litigation in this context, and although defendants raise compelling arguments in favor of exercising judicial discretion to permit attorneys' eyes-only access to the CIPA Section 4 filings under the circumstances of this case, the court ultimately denies defendants' motions after concluding, based on a thorough review of the special counsel's instant CIPA Section 4 submissions, that it can fairly resolve the CIPA Section 4 requests in an ex parte posture and in a manner that does not impair defendants' right.
How'd you sleep last night? If you answered, not so great, just okay, or don't ask, you're not alone. 1 out of 3 Americans report being sleep deprived, and your sheets could be the problem. The wrong sheets can trap body heat, leaving you boiling 1 minute and freezing the next. The solution? Cozy Earth bedding. I love that Cozy Earth's bedding sheets are incredibly soft and also breathable, allowing me to have the best night's sleep imaginable. Cozy Earth is life-changing luxury. Cozy Earth's best-selling bamboo sheet set is made from 100% premium viscose from bamboo, which makes them naturally temperature-regulating and breathable. So you'll sleep more comfortably all year round. Cozy Earth sheets are uniquely soft and only get softer with every wash. Cozy Earth is the brand that made Oprah's favorite things 5 years in a row. Cozy Earth comes with a 100-night sleep trial, which means you have up to 100 nights to sleep on them, wash them, and try them out. If you're not completely in love, just return them within 100 days for a full refund. And all of their products also include a 10-year warranty against defects. Whether it's their luxury bedding, ultra-comfortable loungewear, plush bath towels, and more, you'll love shopping at Cozy Earth. If you've never tried Cozy Earth, I've got some awesome news. You can save up to 35% off Cozy Earth right now. But hurry, this offer won't last. Go to CozyEarth.com/LegalAF and enter our promo code LegalAF at checkout for up to 35% off. That's CozyEarth.com/LegalAF, promo code LegalAF. CozyEarth.com/LegalAF.
So there you still see language by Judge Aileen Cannon talking about preserving defendants, referring to Trump and his co-defendants' rights. Judge Aileen Cannon also says that CIPA Section 4, she's saying that it is a discretionary decision by a federal judge to determine whether or not to provide these submissions to opposing counsel, to the criminal defendants' lawyers in a case like this, whereas the government claims that it is basically non-discretionary and kind of unambiguous and absolute. Every court has not found this to be discretionary. Judge Aileen Cannon makes that point before denying Trump's right of access, but she does kind of put in there oddly and in Cannon fashion that she believes she could have the right to give, to utilize her discretion to provide these submissions to Trump's lawyers, although she says she's not doing it here. And let me be very clear, no judge ever has said that. So while she's denying Trump's request, she is making arguments that seem to suggest that she is going to allow Trump's lawyers eventually to see some of this classified material. That's to be determined, but I don't want to overstate what this order denying Trump's CIPA Section 4 access is really all about. So the court looks at CIPA Section 4, and the CIPA Section 4 says the court, upon a sufficient showing, may authorize the United States to delete specified items of classified information from documents to be made available to the defendants through discovery under the federal rules of criminal procedure, to substitute a summary of the information of such classified documents, or substitute a statement admitting relevant facts that the classified information would tend to prove. So pause there. So in other words, what's CIPA Section 4 about? The government saying, look, we'll do a substitution. We'll say this is nuclear codes or nuclear material, but we're not going to give them the actual codes themselves because the codes themselves aren't relevant or helpful. It's the fact that national defense information was stolen. It goes on to say the court may permit the United States to make a request for such authorization in the form of a written statement to be inspected by the court alone. If the court enters an order granting relief following such an ex parte showing, the entire text of the statement of the United States shall be sealed and preserved in the records, and the court may be available to the appellate court in the event of an appeal. So you get an automatic appeal with the court's ruling on a CIPA hearing. So what the court's saying here is that it says, the court saying, or Judge Cannon saying, it uses the word may this, may that. The court may permit the United States to make a request for such authorization. So the court says, it doesn't say shall, it says may. And even though every single court across the country has interpreted this as non-discretionary, Judge Aileen Cannon thinks she knows better and says that she believes it's discretionary. But after hearing the arguments from Trump's lawyers, Trump's co-defendants' lawyers, and special counsel Jack Smith, she believes that there does not need to be she does not need to exercise her discretion to allow for an adversarial proceeding. But I think there's still a chance here that she'll show Donald Trump some of this classified stuff. Special counsel Jack Smith will have an appeal of that if that's what she ends up doing. But she may also request some sort of substitution or something else in order to allow the information to be produced in discovery pursuant to a CIPA Section 3 protective order so that it can't be made public, but at the same time, not necessarily allowing the underlying documents themselves to take place. Here's where the final thing that Judge Cannon says. She goes, in light of the so she says, my own view is that this is discretionary and I could decide to do what I want to do. She makes that clear in the first 8 pages of this thing. Then on page 9, she goes, nevertheless, even though my interpretation is different than every single court, and I think I have the power, if I want to, government, to let Donald Trump's lawyers take a look at this, she goes, in light of the unrebutted weight of authority in this circuit and others, and following a thorough review of the subject materials, extensive colloquies with defense counsel to understand their theories of the case, and careful consideration of the good faith arguments raised by defendants, the court determines at this juncture that it can resolve the special counsel's Section 4 motions in an ex parte posture. CIPA Section 4 was designed to protect and restrict discovery of classified information in a way that does not impair the defendant's right to a fair trial. As best the court can discern following its rigorous analysis, defendants' rights will not be impaired by today's ruling. She's saying that Trump's rights will not be impaired by her not allowing him to see these submissions. But that's why I said she's not ruling out here, though, that she's not gonna that she may allow him to see the underlying classified material. Accordingly, it is hereby ordered and adjudged as follows. The motions are denied, Trump's motion for access, should an additional round of CIPA Section 4 litigation become necessary in this case, and assuming the special counsel moves to proceed ex parte, defendants may file a renewed request for access. Done and ordered in chambers at Fort Pierce, signed Judge Aileen Cannon. There you have it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.